Okay guys, how to finish a head and arm strangle from the mounted position. First, I lock my ankles, push my hips forward, I take my hand, I lock up a cross face, and I make him look towards the other way. My action hand, which is my left hand from here, is going to come underneath his elbow, just like this. Now, there's certain positions in which my opponent's strong and positions where he's weak. If he keeps his elbows tight, and I go to lift vertically, I'm running into a lat pull down. I will never be able to separate his elbow from his ribs. Rather than that, I walk outwards where he's weak, just like this, until his elbow reaches his shoulder line. When his elbow reaches his shoulder line, I have the ability to walk up towards his head. I'm almost doing a half circle, walking his elbow away from his ribs and then above his head. So we're here. He has everything tight. He doesn't want to have a head and arm strangle. We lock up underneath and we begin the action of walking outwards, not upwards, until his elbow reaches his shoulder. Now, if at any moment during this technique I feel him start to buck wild and go crazy, I drop my elbow to the mat. What am I doing? I'm trading mobility for stability. As he's freaking out and causing issues for me underneath me, I ride out the storm. Okay, is he calm now? I lift my elbow, start taking up more real estate. He starts freaking out on me. Elbow down. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Is everything calm now? I walk up and I enter into my top head and arm control. Now, another big issue, which we may deal with, is he locks up an overwrap and locks his hands from here. I try to lift his arm, it's impossible. Take a look at what I do. I take my hands and I go palm to palm. He tries as hard as he possibly can to hold on from here. I just lift ever so slightly and he has a choice. Do I go unconscious or let my jaw break or unlock my hands? The more he holds on, the tighter the hold gets. I take my cross face back, I walk everything up, and I go into this elbow and elbow position. Now, from here, I need to make sure that I have a good control over him. I need to pass off into our head and arm strangle. I use a combination of my hand, my chin, and my deltoid to hold his arm in place. My right hand grabs his armpit. My chin goes over his elbow, and my deltoid curves in. So that when he goes to move, he cannot. I take a thumb post outside of his tricep and pass my ear outside of his tricep. I lock up palm to palm. Now, if I feel like I have a bad bite, no problem. I take a hand underneath his armpit, lift him up to the side. I start pumping the mat, 1, 2, 3, 4, to get everything tighter. I take my shoulder underneath everything. Now I have a truly tight bite on the head and arm strangle. I lock my hands and I put my head down to the mat. I windshield wiper my foot over his hip, and I go out into a side mount. Now from here, to finish, I don't hit a sit out. I don't push into him. I drop the front of my left hip, and my right elbow pulls in, and we have a finish. If I feel like I need even more horsepower to get the finish, I take my left elbow, curl it into my ribs. From here, I hit a pull with my left elbow and a pull with my right, and I get my head and arm strangle. So here's the most effective way of finishing the head and arm strangle from mount.